Yeah. I love the intro. Do you like it? Can you hear it over there? You can hear it too? Nice. Welcome everybody. Welcome to JT Unfiltered. I am your host, Jonathan Tager, real estate broker extraordinaire. And today I welcome a very special guest. I didn't realize how special, to be honest with you. I'm like, let me Google you and really kind of let me do some research. I'm going to do some research. But well, first let me introduce Brian Scott Cohen, number eight. Am I right or wrong? Number 8 in the nation as far as mortgage brokers go.
Wow, clap.
Dude, number 8.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know how accurate that is. You know, it changes every day, every month, every year, but I'll take it. Thanks for having me,
I'll
by the way.
take it.
By the way, honored to be here.
Oh my God. And I saw a number, and tell me if this is true. This is crazy. $1 billion in deals closed in your career? Over $6 billion?
Yeah, those are outdated stats, but yeah, I've learned a couple bucks.
We're at 7. We're at $7 billion. We just crossed. You're like McDonald's. They can't keep up with you.
Yeah, we're over 7. We're over 7. It's a lot of money.
They can't keep up.
Dude.
Good.
Yeah.
Great to have you, man. I mean, I've known you. How long have we known each other now?
A while. I'm old. You're still young, but I'm
Dude,
a while.
I think I'm older than you. I'm older than you.
But
I know I'm
yeah.
older than you.
You might be.
I think I am.
But a while, years and years and years. Let's go with that.
Years and years. I remember I think one of the first times we met, we were at an Islanders game. Do you remember that? It was at an Islanders game.
In Brooklyn, though. So, I mean, the last time they were there is how many years? They've been gone for, 5 years probably been gone for?
That was, I mean, exactly. So just think, when were they playing at the Barclays Center? Like 10 years ago?
10 years ago. At least 10 years.
At least 10 years ago.
At least.
You had babies, so how old are your kids now?
12.
So all 4 of your kids are 12?
12, 10, 9. 3 kids. 3, 2,
You're like,
3,
hey,
3.
whatever. Is it 3? I thought it was like 4 for some reason.
No. I'm done.
God, no.
Just practice.
Dude, so you know, I had people calling in, you know, and they were asking, you know, how does one get started in real estate, not in real estate, in mortgages? Like, how do you become a mortgage broker? How does that happen?
It's a great question. I mean, anyone I've ever met in the mortgage business has never gone to school and say, I want to get a degree in mortgages, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of fell into it because I had a college roommate that got into it and was telling me, hey, he's doing great. But
what'd you go to college for? What'd you go to?
Communications. I was a communication major, so I can join amazing podcasts like this. That's what I was.
Where'd you go? I went to communication school too. Where'd you go?
Did you?
I went to Emerson College. Yeah.
Emerson. I was at SUNY Oneonta, which was a lot of fun near the Baseball Hall of Fame. But
that'd be great.
Yeah, I think now and when I was going to school is most people never went to school and said, hey, I want to get into the mortgage business. It was, investment banking. Maybe it was, real estate has a lot of stuff, but real estate's a broad topic, right? They have specific schools at, NYU, SHAC, Real Estate Institute for, masters and things, but they don't have it for mortgage. To get into the mortgage business, I think it's knowing somebody who's in it and understanding, what someone actually does. I think the hardest part about it is learning different guidelines and meeting great people, right? It's there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of companies out there who, just like real estate, it's all about your network. Is what I would tell you.
What was because you said it, right? I mean, look, I've been in real estate a long time too. No one has a shortage of mortgage brokers, right? You ask any real estate broker in New York City, hey, you need a mortgage broker. They've got 3 to 5, that they could throw out there. But what has made you top of mind for I know, so many brokers. You're the name everybody, feels comfortable with. So how did you get to be that guy where, brokers just trust you And you're one of the, if not the first name that they give.
Yeah. So I'd say over time, one deal at a time by building a reputation, we close, right? Like we truly care about the client. And I think we do a good job of being honest with the client, making sure they understand, and we give them options, right? I'm not here to sell somebody an expensive loan or, everybody, all of our commissions as loan people or mortgage people, all my commissions the same. So my goal is to get everyone the lowest rate, to do as much due diligence as I can, to add value to agents by helping them with what they need help with, right? Maybe it's due diligence on a building. Maybe it's they need someone to open the door on a Saturday. I've done it all.
You've
And I
opened
do
doors
it.
for real estate agents before?
Absolutely. I've been the door guy downstairs that has to have everybody go upstairs on the weekend and they had no one to cover. I'm happy to hang out, man.
You're selling the apartment too.
I'm selling. I'm not selling apartments,
Yeah.
but I am. I'm selling my services. Where it's look, I'm a team player. Where you guys as agents are one referral partners, two friends, but we're on the same team, right? So it's all about just getting the customer a good experience and trying to find them the best mortgage there is possible. And I've done it time and time again for 22 years. And, the people in this market like yourself that are doing business are like, hey, let's go to Brian because we know he'll answer the phone. We know he's going to give us an honest answer and we trust him. And I think that's what really has helped my career is trust.
That I will, like, for me, I can speak for me from the brokerage side, right?
Please.
It's, you always, if I need you, if I text you or if I email you, whatever I could do, what I could shut out the window, you will get right back, right? Within the hour, worst case scenario, if not within 10 minutes. So that's always huge. Also for me, like the biggest thing is you do what you say you're going to do. So if you're like, I'll close this loan in 2 weeks, you'll close the loan in 2 weeks. Like we just had one, right? We just had one not long ago, and I didn't want to, I never do anyway, but I would never push a mortgage broker on anyone. And this was a buddy of mine. He wanted to use, he had a mortgage broker, so he was using that person, and then they were stalling, and I knew it wasn't good. And I didn't want to say, hey, look, I've got this guy. I was waited for him when he was like, what are we going to do? And I was like, okay, great. I have this guy. I spoke to you. You said, hey, I can close that loan in 2 weeks. I got back to him. I said, hey, if he says he can close his loan in 2 weeks, he can close his loan in 2 weeks. And that's exactly what happened. So to me, it's funny. I don't know if the consumer thinks real estate agents if we get kickbacks from mortgages. I don't know, because it's a very touchy subject sometimes when you're, recommending or referring a mortgage broker. But just to make it clear to everyone, to all our 7 listeners, right? We do not, okay, there are no kickbacks going back and forth. Our referrals, to be frank, when I refer someone like Brian, I refer him because I know he's going to get the deal done. And I know, we're going to be happy and it's going to be fast and it's going to be, I assume at a good price. I mean, all mortgage companies, pretty much are the same price. Is that fair to say, or do you think some are?
I think there's slight differences, and some offer some things that others don't. One of the benefits is we see the whole market, and look, we're not always the best, but I can tell you that we are always very competitive. But if someone calls 30 places, maybe they'll get something that's a fraction lower, right, or a fraction higher.
Yeah.
But in general, it's pretty similar. If there's big differences, something's off.
Like
we generally see
not to cut you off, like a $1 million loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could be the best price that person gets, and what would be like the worst price that person gets?
Yeah.
How far apart are they?
Yeah. So let's just say the average fixed rate today, according to Fannie Mae, is 6.3%. Okay. Something of that nature. So I would say you should expect the average rate. And I think you'll get as low as 0.8 and as high as 6.625 is probably what I would say the variant is. And I would also say their customers, that they have big money somewhere or something like that, they'll get it down even further.
Mm-hmm.
But the average rate is 6.3. I think that, if you find somebody that's a little bit lower, it's great. But I would say in general, you're going to be within a quarter point up or down of that average number.
So then on that $1,000,000, right? Like what would the payment be roughly on the low side? Like how much money, actual money are we talking on your monthly payment?
Yeah, so roughly, if you take $1 million loan, let's just say it's $6,000 a month at 6%. And
Yep.
5.875, you're at $5,875. You're talking about 150,
That's about
$250. $250. Yeah, about $250.
I mean, it's like, it's real money. It's real money.
It's real money. I would say it's real money. I think one of the issues is in our market, it's very different than other markets where modern technology, a lot of people shop for rates online. And we compete with companies that I've never heard of, and they don't understand a lot of our collateral. Maybe it's a multifamily house and there's no C of O. Holds up deals all the time. Maybe there's a deck there that is not on the survey. Maybe there's a building that has, it's not Fannie Mae approved, or it has local law 11 going on, where these banks that or companies that they find on the internet don't understand our market enough. And I feel that that's one of the biggest upsides with working with somebody who's been in the market for 22 years and knows every issue that has probably ever come out. I've seen it, heard it, that I don't get phased. When other people are like, oh my gosh, there's an open permit. Freeze. That's not freeze. It's like, let's figure it out. How do we handle it versus, oh my gosh, and make everybody panic and think that,
Yeah.
no one can close the loan, right? It's all about finding solutions.
Are you just doing loans in New York City, or do you personally are you personally just working on loans in New York, or do you work?
Yeah, so most of my business is New York City, 5 boroughs, but we do a lot of second homework for people buying the Hamptons in Florida. I also do a good amount of business in Westchester County and Nassau and Suffolk, and Connecticut. I'd say tri-state area, we'll call it.
Yeah.
I seem to be the guy who attracts condos and co-ops.
But you don't have.
I'll take it.
I mean, who cares, right? Who cares? A loan's a loan, right?
A loan is a loan, and look, I love talking to people. I love learning what they're doing. I like the idea of, making sure we hit the timelines. I like the customer to feel like, hey, we did a great job and we under promise and over deliver, right? That's kind of the message that I want our clients to have is like, hey, I have 30 to 45 days to get a commitment letter. My mortgage guy got it to me in 2 weeks. Like, now what? I'm 30 days ahead of where I need to be. That's the kind of message that we want out there.
I mean, you ever have a client that's like pissed off at the end? You ever have like a bad?
Oh yeah.
Really? And like what? Why are they pissed? Like what?
We get blamed for everything. I mean, You name it. I mean, I had a closing recently where on any mortgage, we always ask for documents, right? Everyone hates documents, right? So it's, we ask for your pay stubs, your W-2s, your bank statements.
You're just relaying what the underwriter needs, right? Yeah.
Correct, right? This was a recent one where a client gave us 2 months of bank statements from XYZ Bank. It had enough money for the 20% down in there, had enough money for the closing costs. They were good, right? They got to closing and they wrote a check out of a bank that we'd never seen before. So as part of the closing instructions, as part of the commitment letter, it says, you verified funds of X hundreds of thousands of dollars. It came out of your account at X bank, ending in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. They come to the closing and they brought an account from account ending in 679. We've never seen it before. We never verified the funds.
Oh, God.
And at the closing, we won't fund the loan. We say, hey, we don't have this account. Like, where's this money? You gave us an account ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is 678. And their answer is, they call me and they're upset. Why does it matter where the money comes from? You're holding up the closing. And
I don't really understand. How much was the loan? Was it a big loan?
I don't remember the exact loan. I don't remember the exact loan size, but it happens a lot where people want to give us less information, which is fine, right? We ask you list your assets, and some list every little thing, including things that have 50 bucks in it, and others just list their biggest account, but the money comes from somewhere completely different, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's coming from you. Maybe you're giving him the money. Who knows? So we have to verify any money that's used for a purchase has to be verified, right? So we want to see. So at the closing, it's my fault, where all of our documents say your money's coming from here.
But
There's
what was it the same
instruction.
money? What did they like open up another account?
They
Like,
had another account they didn't disclose, and it came from it. It was their money, which is great.
yeah.
But sometimes you're like, oh, it came from my dad as a surprise gift, right? Well, we need to
Yeah,
document
we need
the
to
gift
know
funds,
it.
right?
We need to know it.
Yeah. So that's something that
Was it their
is
money
recent.
though? Was the money in that
It
account?
was. They just never gave it to us.
Yeah.
It was an account. They said, well, I gave you one account. I never gave you this account. And that would be fine. But you have to give us the account that's being used to purchase, right? We need to verify the funds are there. We want to make sure there's no large deposits. You're not taking a loan into that account. So there's
Yeah.
certain things that we
Was
have to
it something
verify.
fishy? Were they doing something a little? No.
They just didn't give us the paperwork. It was no harm, no foul,
Yeah.
but it was our fault that they didn't read the commitment letter that says your funds must come from
I
here.
mean, who we?
And it's
Yeah.
it's our fault that, hey, your closing instructions specifically say you're going to be bringing a certified check from this account ending 1234, and you didn't read
Got
any
it.
of
So
them, even though you signed 6 disclosures.
They
So
clearly weren't following directions.
they were not following directions.
Did it close? Did the loan actually
Oh,
close?
yeah, of course. They
Yeah.
closed at the table and they sent us the bank statement and everything was fine. But they were upset, and then we, because of the issue. But the issue wasn't caused by us. It was caused by something they created. They
Yeah.
were angry at me. But we then sent them, hey, you signed this, you signed this, and everything here says you're using money 1234. So guys, this is a you issue. This isn't anything we did wrong.
Yeah.
So that's the last time someone got mad at me for something that had nothing to do with us. But people get mad all the time. Like, we can't control
There's no
certain
accountability.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen a lot of different reasons why people get upset. And I think just, keeping your composure and understanding what they're going through is a big part of it. And I also think, helping the customer understand the why behind it. Why do we need that, right? Nobody likes paperwork. I hate paperwork. But if you
Yeah.
want to borrow $1 million or $2 million or
Yeah.
100,000, it's the guidelines, and we want to just make sure your ability to repay is a big factor.
Well, it's kind of
So,
crazy. They don't realize you're on their side. Like,
of course, I'm
you're
on their
working
side. I work
for
for the
them.
customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You work for them. It's like with me sometimes, we have clients that lie to us. It's like, why are you lying to me? Don't lie to me. That would be like lying to your attorney. Why do you
Yeah.
lie to your attorney? Tell your attorney I did it, but but you got to get me out of this.
Yeah.
I
Give me an example. Like, what? Give me an example of someone. Like, what kind of stuff does buyers come to you that leave out?
I could tell you
lie?
the first thing that comes to my head is more sellers. Like sellers will let's say they're trying to get $2 million on a property or something, and they'll say, look, the lowest I will go is 1.9. I will not go less than 1.9,
Got
right?
it.
But then just the market's the market, right? And let's say we get an offer at 1.8, and I'm like, look, guys, I know you said 1.9, like they're playing this game with me, right? And I get it. First of all, I didn't even ask what your lowest was, right? Let's just play it by ear and see how we go, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to get you to 5, right? I mean, I don't know, but so they lie with what they'll take. Sometimes I'm trying to think of like the worst lie that someone, or just the word, and honestly, they lie a lot, right? And you catch
We
them.
we get it a lot too, and we get like, hey, I need to move by this date,
Yes.
and we're ready to close every single time, and it never closes that date.
You're
and
ready to go, yeah, but they're not.
They're not,
Yeah.
but they'll start. We have to be ready by this date, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, we're gonna change the
Yeah,
date.
they
3
extended
times.
our lease. Our
Right.
lease.
Yeah, or it's hey, Yeah, I mean that's one of the big ones. Or like, yeah, it's we have to get this in by certain date, and then it's like 45 days later, and turns out, oh, the seller wasn't really ready, and I'll look at the contract and say, hey guys, just so your contract says on or about this closing date, and it's 60 days from the date you're telling me. And they're like, well, both us and the seller are motivated to close. I'm like, that's great. I will stop and get your file cleared within the next week. As long as you tell me you're actually going to close in a week, I will stop everything and prioritize your file. And it just never seems to close quickly. We'd love it too. Love it.
I will say, and like that is my biggest thing with you as a mortgage broker. It's like, I don't think there's anyone in the business that I know, at least, who can close faster. There's like, I mean, your speeds are lightning fast.
Yeah, we're good. We're good about
if everybody gives you all the information you need.
If people, right, we can only do so much, right? Like, we can only do so much. If the client doesn't cooperate or management company doesn't cooperate, all bets off. But my team is all over it, and sometimes they're all over it too much. I mean, we've gotten complaints from agents like, "Hey, you guys are a little bit too forceful," or something of that nature. And look, we learn from feedback, and everyone reacts to things differently. But my team has a policy on condos and co-ops where if we don't have the due diligence from the management company within 10 days, we loop in the buyer's attorney, we loop in the buyer's broker, the buyer's attorney, the buyer, and say, hey, as a heads up, we sent XYZ management company a check for whatever amount of money it is to get the due diligence on your building, and we haven't had it yet. Right? We raise our hand because the last thing we want is it takes 45 days for it to come in, and then we say, oh, we have a problem, right? So we want to make sure people in the beginning of the process know that, hey guys, we need this, we don't have it, and we let all parties know. And sometimes agents are like, great, thank you so much, and other times they're like, hey, we don't, I don't need this. So it's hard, but it works both ways.
I don't know. If it's hard, you make it look easy, honestly. You do. You make it look easy. I don't think you're working hard enough.
Man, it's yeah.
What do you think about rates? Where do you think rates are headed? Like, talk to me.
I mean,
being bullish. What do you think we're looking at this year?
Look, I think rates are a point less than they were 12 months ago, which is a great sign, right? I mean, rates are averaging in the low 6 right now. I will tell you that I do personally think, this is not a company view, this is me personally, I do think rates come down further at the end of this year. A new Fed chairman's coming in June. I do think the president has come up with multiple ideas on how to lower rates, and he wants rates lower. He's come up with ideas from 50-year mortgages to buying $200 billion of mortgage-backed securities.
What do you think of the 50 million or of the 50-year? Yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't think, to me, I think the 30-year is long. I think the 50-year is longer. I think if it helps a client get into a property, exactly. I think if it helps someone get into a property where somebody may be starting out in a certain profession and their income is going to increase and they'll qualify for a shorter term later, I think it's great. I don't think that it's for everybody. I don't think that the average person
is it going to happen. You think there's a prayer that it happens?
We have a 40-year, by the way.
There is a 40-year? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Do you sell them? When was the last time you did one?
This month.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, I give it to them as an option. My benefit is I'm not trying to give somebody a certain product. I give them the option. Like, hey, here's an adjustable. Here's a 30-year. Here's a 15-year fix. Here's a 40. We'll give you 5 products. You lay it out. Show them the benefits.
Well, what's the downside of a 40-year? What's the downside of a 40-year loan?
Interest over the life of the loan, right? You're paying less principal monthly.
Yeah.
But you're qualifying them for a larger loan amount because it's amortized over 40 years.
And then I mean, you're going to sell it probably within 10 or so, or I don't know.
You're going to refinance in 2 or 3, maybe, right? Or
so why the average not person save some money every month?
Personal preference. Some people say, well, I'm not paying down enough principal, and you can say you can always pay extra principal.
Yeah.
Some people love it. Other people are like, no, I only want a 30-year. To me, 30 years, I mean, I'll be in my 70s, and it's a long time.
When you're done, yeah. I mean, like, who buys a property anymore? I mean, in New York, I don't think I've ever had that. I mean, I've been doing this about 25 years. I mean, obviously, but let's look way back. I mean, everyone resells, right? Like I'm trying to think who, our parents bought houses and then they lived in them for like 30 years, right?
Yes.
And or forever.
I
I
don't
mean,
see
how many
much
of
of
your
that
friends
anymore.
that you went to high school with, like their parents still live in the house, right?
Yeah, a good amount of them.
Yeah.
A good amount still live there, but I would say on my my friends that I went to college with, or are our age, so to say,
Yeah.
they're moving and shaking, man. They're not staying in the same place.
No way.
They're families are expanding, and the opposite too. I'm at the age where people are getting divorced and they're getting another property and splitting up, and creates more transactions.
I gotta tell you, like, I've been looking for my whole career. I need a good divorce attorney referral source.
Okay,
Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be great as a real estate broker.
it'd be great.
Oh, that would be great.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how you find one. Should I just reach out to all the divorce attorneys in New York and just say, I am your
Yes.
referral source? Actually, that's a good idea.
Yes.
I should make like a video email and send
Yeah.
it to like a bunch of them. Someone's got to be
100%.
like, I like this. I like this.
Send them this video. Take this clip and say,
Right.
"Hey,
Right. This
this
clip.
clip,
Yeah.
this clip," and say, "I've been looking for divorce attorneys,
Yeah.
so I can help your clients find a home,
Yeah.
and let's go."
Let's go. Like, I mean, if you're going to get divorced, I might as well at least get the listing. I mean, that's all
I
I'm
hear ya.
saying. So wait, so let's get back to rates. So you said
Oh, sorry.
rates, so they're
I
going
think we
down.
see a dip towards the end of the year. I do. Right now, we're in a good spot. I think we see a little bit of a dip, quarter to half a point lower than we are today.
Yeah.
Is my thought. Maybe we'll end the year in the upper fives.
Upper
Some
fives. So you
pictures.
think like upper fives is a realistic kind of landing spot
I do.
by December. By December,
do.
but not by the spring. So like the spring summer market, what are we looking at rates similar to what we're seeing now?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, and it can change. They just pushed January jobless reports off. They didn't report it yet, right? There's a bunch of reports that aren't out. There's also, I think that there's at any moment there could be some economic news or a new idea that somebody has that can change the market very quickly. But if everything kind of stays status quo, I think we see a dip later this year.
It's inflation. That's why they don't want to. That's why they don't want to push it. I mean, is that
Yeah, I
really
mean,
what it is?
It's inflation, it's jobless numbers, it's how strong the economy is. There's a lot of stuff that's involved with it. There's consumer reports, there's all kinds of things.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
What would you say? Let's say, what would be your advice to someone who knows nothing about mortgages, right? But someone who wants to buy a property,
Yep.
right? And if they were like, give me a piece of information that can help me buy a property that I probably didn't know before right now.
It's a great question.
Is that a good question?
Uh-huh.
It came out strange, but
Yeah, I understood it though. It's if you're looking to get money, yeah, I think that a lot of people don't know how much it costs to borrow money.
yeah,
is a real thing. They just think, hey, I can't afford it. Sorry, multiple text messages here. And I think the myth is, and I say it a lot, is people don't understand how much it costs to borrow money. Like there's a lot of online calculators. They're not all accurate. Some are great, but in reality, the variance here in our market has to do with like the common charges, the taxes, are they abated? Is it co-op, right? Those are other factors that people don't take into consideration. And I also think that so my thought is find out, don't be afraid to take the leap and see what you can actually afford. A lot of people don't take the leap and just think they can't afford it, and they're paying $8,000 a month for a 2-bedroom rental in Williamsburg, or $5,500 for a 1-bedroom, or whatever the math is. And they should talk to agents like you, and you specifically. They should call you and say, "Hey, I'm paying $5,500 a month for rent. what can I buy for this price, and how much do I actually need, and loop me in with your mortgage person, and can I actually afford it?
Well, let's
Yeah.
idiot proof it, right? For someone like I would say the entry level apartment, even though it's hard to find, but I think for $400,000 you can get something in New York City. Okay, that's in a nice livable neighborhood. So
Yep.
let's take a $400,000 condo. Okay, how much money? And let's say like on the lowest end of cash down, right? So
Yeah.
let's say I have 10 grand to my name. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you
So
tell that person?
I'd say save up to 12 and let's go.
Save, so you
Yeah.
do your 3%
3% down.
down. Yep.
Let's do a 3% down product. It's a conventional loan. It's not FHA. It's a conventional 3% down product. You need $12,000 out of pocket. Closing costs we can structure as a concession where you can finance it. And I would say let's check credit. Let's make sure let's check credit. Let's check income. Make sure you can afford your monthly payment. Ability to repay is a big part of everything. And if you're comfortable with it, you should be working with a realtor to find somewhere that will take your offer with a lower down payment.
Yep.
We'll back it with our pre-approval or a pre-commitment letter, so agents can feel comfortable and the buyer feels comfortable about going forward. And they should look at being a homeowner instead of renting. $12,000.
I love it. I mean, I love it because I think a lot of people think it's not even doable, right? I mean, when I was younger, that was like my biggest regret, not buying that entry level condo in New York, because I just thought it was so unattainable, right? But I think it is achievable, and a lot of people don't know that, especially when you're in your 20s, you're not even really thinking about that. But if you buy that apartment in your 20s, by the time you hit your 30s, maybe you're looking to get married and settle down, that apartment will probably be almost double the price. Or you'll have a lot of good equity in there. Yeah.
I mean, you'll have good equity, and your balance is going to be a lot less. You'll be building, for a savings account. I mean, every month you pay down principal. You're building equity in the property, which is incredible. So my biggest advice is reach out to figure out, if you can do anything.
Reach out if you want to figure it out.
Yeah, reach out if you want to figure it out. That's the message today.
And let me get your 2026 coming from you, because I'm super biased, but I'm an optimist. I'm a huge optimist. But
I love that.
What is you have to be, right? You have to be.
Gotta be.
So what would you say your prediction for 2026 New York City real estate? Let's just talk New York City, because I feel like the rest of the country follows what happens in New York City. If it's a good year, then New York has a great year. If it's not good, New York has a worse year.
I think it's already starting off to be a good year. So I would tell you that I think it's going to continue to get better. So I'm not even optimistic. I'm telling you it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good year. Look, I think that we're going to have a very busy spring market. I think that January was pretty busy for January, and it's a very cold January, right?
Yeah, it's nasty.
And there's people out, there's deals being done. I think it's going to continue to be busy. Will it be your best year? I don't think so, but I hope it is. But I don't think it's going to be the best year in New York City real estate, but I think it's going to be a damn good year.
Certainly above average.
Well said.
Yeah,
yep.
I could see it. We have the contract, but a development deal in Brooklyn, Christmas week. I'm like, Christmas week.
Crazy.
That was crazy, right? Yeah, signed contracts Christmas week, which is nuts. Yeah,
love that. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. But it never happens.
Of course,
it never happens that way. So I'll take it. Well, look, man, I don't want to take more of your time, because I know you're super busy.
No. Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. Hopefully, your listeners get something out of this. We'll drop your info and my info, and hopefully they'll call us both and reach out, and we can get more people in homes and let them know how much they can afford, and it's free to talk to me.
I always tell people are always like, what do you really do as a real estate broker? And I'm like, well, I know people like Brian. All right. So you call me, and then I call Brian. He does all the work. I just put you in touch with guys like Brian.
Your job is hard. It's not easy.
It is
You got to
hard, isn't
find
it?
what you have to find what people like, and they're not always on the market, right? Off market's a big part of it, and knowing other great agents that you work with, and you have a big wide network to help buyers
Yeah.
navigate that. Not everything is on straight easy, right? So I think there's a misconception that, hey, I can just go to the owner directly, but you're missing out on other things that you may not be able to get when you work with Jonathan Tagger over
You
here.
know, I went to the Inman conference. You know,
Oh, I was there too.
Oh, were you there?
Briefly,
Yeah, I was there for like an.
Briefly.
I go to see the vendors. I like
Okay.
checking out the vendors and seeing what they're. I actually got this new software that's really cool. I'll tell you offline about
Yeah,
it, but
please.
it's this cool like AI software that I saw there. But they all the vendors out front are like telling you, oh yeah, we can do this and we can do that, and we work off the MLS. And I'm like, there's no MLS here. We don't have an MLS.
Right.
And
That's
they all look at me like dumbfounded. Like, what do you mean you don't have an MLS? I'm like, I can't even believe you're here trying to sell your product that is incorporated
in Manhattan, right?
in Manhattan. Like you're in the market trying to sell to this market, right?
And
like,
you don't know it.
And they don't even know that there's no MLS here.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
It's not the right vendor for you, baby.
Yeah, it's not the right vendor. Anyway, they all looked at me like,
Yeah.
oh God, now you tell me. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
anyway, dude, I appreciate it.
See you soon in
Thank
person.
you again. Here,
See
hold
you
on.
live.
We got to play the outro. You ready?
Oh, okay.
Yes. I love it. Dude, thank you to Brian Scott Cohen for coming in. Oh, it stopped the outro music. But I had to clap it again. But here, I'll go back to the outro. But no, thank you for Brian Scott Cohen for coming on. JT Unfiltered. I hope that answered all of your questions about mortgages. And if you have any more, just let me know, or you can reach out to Brian Scott Cohen. He's all over the internet. Good things. Fully clothed. Fully clothed. So am I. Brian, thanks again, man. Go back to your kids. Bye, everyone. I'm signing out. Later.